My name is Rajiv Tumchandani. I'm a scientist and human rights activist. I've traveled the world over, educating and inspiring our most marginalized populations. People have lost their homes, their families, their entire lives to the horrors of war. Who are they? What do they desire? And what can the world do better to help them? This is their story. At the beginning of the year, more than 70 million refugees were living in miserable camps around the world. The numbers are not just unprecedented, they are staggering. And yet, in those camps are 70 million stories waiting to be told.
You can see that the earth is a giant place. So many other countries around the world, so many people living besides me and you. People who look different, talk different, act different. But in the end of the day, we are all human beings and we are living here together. So many people live every day, every night. Where I come from, people don't even know what's going on. But our purpose here is to tell them your story, who you are, what you want. And perhaps this way, we can help you guys. So you've been forced out of your homes, you've suffered, yet you are here to learn. So I am inspired by that. That's how I feel, what's in my heart.
We'll be going inside the house and see how many people are living in what kind of quarters.
Okay.
And we'll try to get a chance to interview him, his mother, sister, father, and see what their experiences has been in Myanmar also here.
Also here, yeah.
So these are our makeshift tents, which is their new home.
So we're going to Fawn's home. And you can kind of see how small these huts are. And I wish we could give you a sense of how hot it is over here. It's excruciating. They're here for months and months on end after experiencing everything that they have. Imagine just how challenging it is to survive in these conditions.
In this balloon.
So where do you get your water from?
From Dom.
From the dam. Okay. It is challenging.
So he's a scholar, Islamic scholar as well, and he leads the prayer here. Many people died already, murdered,
कत्ल कर दिया, जला दिया,
burned to death.
दरिया में भी बहुत गर्क हो गया.
Many were thrown in the river.
पहाड़ में भी बहुत पुरुषों से लड़कियों को, औरतों को बहुत जुल्म किया,
Women and girls were
रेप किया.
Only God knows how much we have been tortured.
सब कुछ फना होकर सब लोग यहाँ आ गए.
And we had to come here. And his heart is aching, he said.
तो कल से हमारे आमदनी से बहुत कुछ.
Only God knows how we are spending our lives here.
So they have burned our houses and our madrasa, maktabs, and also the animals.
Animals were burned too?
Yeah, also. Innocent Rohingya people thrown to the fire alive.
Right.
Also.
And you've seen this?
Yeah, also in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, to escape ethnic cleansing, there are a lot of people have died.
It died, yeah.
Yeah. Also, there is 1 million people in Bangladesh in next camp.
Even 1 million Rohingya people.
Forget whatever bias, prejudice, or stereotype you may have had when it comes to refugees. They've survived horrors like few could ever imagine, taken impossible journeys, shown courage and determination we rarely see in our daily lives. For so long they have been voiceless, ghettoized into camps, for the most part out of sight and out of mind. But not now. So how did it come to this? For almost 100 years, Rangoon, now called Yangon, was under British rule. As one of the multitude of fallouts from World War II, Burma finally gained independence from their colonizers in 1948, where after more than a decade of political instability, the military consolidated power, took over the nation, and never let go. A military comprised of essentially far-right Buddhist nationalists, where religious and ethnic tolerance, especially the darker-skinned Muslim Rohingyas, was never part of the agenda. Decades of deliberate and brutal oppression in Myanmar resulted in a seemingly never-ending conflict against minorities, of which the Rohingyas were most despised. Then, on August 25, 2017, a local Rohingya extremist group attacked a Burmese military outpost, killing at least a dozen soldiers and policemen. What happened next has been described by international rights groups as one of the most brutal and horrific acts of violence the world has ever seen. Soldiers mercilessly attacked and burned villages. Women were gang raped in plain sight. Men were tortured. Even children and infants were killed in cold blood. Many were burned alive. The result? The mass exodus of virtually the entire Rohingya population to neighboring Bangladesh, here in the outskirts of Cox's Bazar, where they have now since resided. Of course, that's a rather simplistic way of summarizing the 60-odd years of Rohingya oppression in Myanmar. But that is the story, folks. No embellishment or exaggeration required. So here we are to see for ourselves what happened, to talk to locals and share their stories to the world, and where we are able to give a helping hand to a population who so desperately needs it from us.
These types of trees and this density of forest cover these vast areas now where the refugee camps are. And I think it's just amazing to see the willingness of people to take in this population. It blows my mind. I think we're here with Mohammed, trying to get a few goods now. Mohammed, what are we going to get for the camps?
Today is the first day of the clinic, so as we see the patients when they come in, we want to make sure we have some goodies like cookies and some milk powder, some cereal for the babies. And as we see the patients coming on, we like to give them a little something to take with them. Yes?
Yeah, I want to ask him what he thinks of the Rohingya crisis and how he feels about what's going on.
He feeling sad.
Yeah? Well, you guys are doing a good job. You're accepting your brothers from the other side, so we're very thankful for that. And we were just having a conversation with this gentleman here, and he said how his business is now profiting, really, from the influx of NGOs that are trying to obviously help, the refugees and bringing goods over there. So I think in that way, this is actually a great example for how such a crisis can try to even indirectly benefit a community, a host community. So I think people certainly see that and appreciate that, It's
some
really
people
interesting.
don't, some people do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you always get a mix of
There's a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
But if business is good, then everything else is good.
Right, exactly.
More
Exactly.
jobs, more labor.
UNHCR, the World Food Program, the Red Crescent, they're all kind of passing by, going to the camps, and you see how much investment the international community as well as the host community is placing in this environment. It's fascinating. It
Ever
blows your
since the
mind.
crisis, it's been
Yeah.
increasing. A lot of people have been flocking to this area.
Yeah, exactly.
FDMN is the new term they're using. Forcibly displaced Myanmar nationals.
We're here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
There are multiple medical centers spread throughout the camps, some better than others. This center, operated by the Hope Foundation, is one of the better ones, with medical staff and medicines available to any visitor, free of cost.
Then they give us a little paper, and then they make the patient wait, and then they send them one by one. Once we see them, then they send the patient back, and they give us pharmacy here. So we have a very basically equipped pharmacy over there.
As you would have seen on the way over, it's huge. You know, there's a lot that is going on in these camps. When you ask him, how does it feel to... You're native from here, you're Bengali?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So you've been working here for a long time now?
No. 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
Well, it's great work you guys are doing. You're sacrificing so much, to...
Patients come and go, prescriptions are written, medications given. It is one glimmer of hope in a life otherwise full of hardship and challenges.
That's it, our emergency ambulance.
How many of these do you have?
18.
18. Okay. All over the camps, right?
All over camps.
So somebody calls you and says...
So called, come here.
Yeah.
Any patient come here.
Okay.
Emergency.
Okay.
Send another hospital.
Yeah.
Big hospital.
Yeah.
Sent
Okay.
every time.
Despite the conditions and everything, you see the children and you're so happy.
I know.
That's how you can smile, you can laugh as if
That is
everything
amazing.
is okay.
Exactly. And they laugh and they joke with you and they talk to you, and it is
And I bet everyone finds relief in that.
the resilience of children,
Exactly. Okay.
I think watermelon is safe fruit because everything we will eat is just the inside pulp.
Okay.
So even if it's grown on the ground with some water, but the inside part is safe. So let's go. We gotta keep the translators happy.
Of course.
Because we do not want anything lost in translation. When they are happy, they tell us everything that the patient is saying, and sometimes a little more. Yeah. That's good. Fix our schedule. If she has some sort of a pass, a river passport or something, then she can go. The chai is good? Very good. Okay, let's have the chai.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yes! There you go. You got 3.
Good for you, buddy.
So,
Okay.
break it into half, and then go for it, yeah. And it's sour, huh? It's almost like
though.
eating the Sour Patch candies, yeah.
Very good.
We also use the green mangoes in.
Actually, they're having it for lunch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've had a long day at the camp so far, and on our way back home, this is what we come to. A traffic jam, and we've been stuck for nearly 2 hours, barely moving at all. And we can see everyone's just honking their horns and just kind of going crazy because all the way at the front is a truck that's been tipped over, apparently. Well, it's a challenge. It's a distinct challenge. And there's so many people, and look how much the traffic is backed up all the way to the end. I think people are just getting out of their cars and trying to walk home. One thing that comes to my mind is resilience. They're extremely resilient. They're extremely gracious for what they have. And if only we could speak the local dialect, we would love to have spoken with them more freely and more openly, but resiliency. I really appreciate the strength of this community, and it's just amazing.
It is difficult to describe the contrast between what we saw in the camps to the environment in which we returned. Pristine beaches, fresh air. It's almost like paradise, really. And after a restful night of contemplation and appreciation of what we've experienced, we meet with none other than Major Ruhul, a young man of only 30 years old, in charge of maintaining security and order throughout the Rohingya camps and Cox's Bazar itself.
You know, and that's
I just think I cannot really explain how do they do it.
Yeah.
When it happened to us, our people, it was 1971. It's 2018, man.
Yeah.
The world has gone so up.
I know.
So many organizations to speak up against everything.
Right.
How do they do it now?
Right.
And how do they think to doing of something like that?
Exactly. And it's interesting, and that's where you cross a line, right, between war and war crime, right? And this is a war crime.
Exactly.
We are just talking about the military, but we didn't talk about the local people. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
They are much more than the military.
Really? Yes.
Just look at them. Their smiling faces, their infectious enthusiasm. They melt my heart. And I don't want them to be lost. I want them to have a future. That's why I'm here. To make a difference in their lives. To give them something that may have forever been taken away from them. It behooves us to protect these children. They are our future, and you can see that.
Every team is doing this humanitarian food relief truck. So it's happening once or twice a week.
You can just pile them up here.
Yeah, exactly.
But we need a pile here, pile like this.
There you go. Right. Here you go, buddy.
Come on, no, I got it. This way.
Are you sure you got it?
Go with the soaps.
Come over here, over here.
Okay, this is the entry inside, huh?
Yep. Yeah. That's sabun. Sabun.
Token?
Man, it's chaotic.
Token?
Ata, need some help, man.
Okay, 5. 5 दे दो. 5. 5.
Man, this is really tough. It's just heartbreaking to give such heavy bags to, are you okay? To such young girls. This isn't a way to live, man. This is not right. And this is probably what, you know, when we talk about like the local Bangladeshi group who maybe feel like, I mean, they have nothing themselves. And then we're giving them a lot of food, and that probably creates that tension that you're saying. It's like everywhere you go, it seems like people need help, you know? And you only have 10 fingers and 2 hands, right?
We've done a lot so far, going from place to place, doing physically grueling things. However, nothing could have prepared us to stomach what we now hear from Imam Soyed Alom and Mumtaz Begum, 2 Rohingya refugees who've suffered unimaginable torture due to the genocide committed by the Burmese armed forces.
This is Mr. Rajiv, professor from America. He will help us get in touch with the victims.
Okay.
And one of the houses is up over there.
Okay. Ask him, do you want justice for what happened to you? Do you want the Burmese military to be punished for what they've done?
আমেরিকা গভর্নমেন্ট আছে অন্য দর ফাওয়ারলা দেশকল আছে তাই যারা ইনসাফ পান যদি গড়ি দিয়ে দিলে আর তো হনকান দেখি নাই এমত নাই অস্ত্র না গিয়া নাই আর আছে রিফিউজি বনি গিয়ে গই ভাই বদাস করি না ফাইলিও ভাই বিনা পুরা ফাইলিও বাকি ধর্মসায় রাসিনলা করে ওনারা বুঝাই দিয়ে দিব আমরা যে দূর করে দূর আল্লাহ চেষ্টা করবে আর শিখ বাকি
Brothers, our sisters, our brothers.
Let's all hold hands.
We'll pray
Let's
for
all
them.
hold hands.
Inshallah.
तो तिन्ना कुमाजा थाने तो गुजारा शुरू जा रहा है ये हम तो यार तिन्नों तेरे को बारी मारी है कोरा और कैसे दूर तो इन्होंने और कैसे इन्होंने मारेंगे मारी वाला ये देख मारी जाता तो मैंने ये बाद का कमुशा शील बाद इंगो लुड़िया शील लुड़ी जाता तो अच्छी है गौरी यार मत दूसरा तो जिन्हें बेड़ियां गला दौरा बांधी लॉन्चा मारी फुरा दी फैला ये गौर गलत तो फुरा दी फैला फुरानी बादाज गोरी ना हरी नागा गुरा ये तो दाहने में देना नागा गुरा फुरा या ये फुरा दी तो गौरव उतर गला ये फुरा दी आगा गुरा फुरा दी फुरानी बादाज गोरी ना हरी गोजे कुरा गोरा तो फ्रंट बैक गोली हौसुजारी मादे दुमारी शिला हौसुजारी तो दुमारी शिला बाद हौसुजारी तो दुमारी आशी बाद मिलिटरी लड़ाई लगे तू दांगुड़ा उतर गली दांगत बैठा हो देखी वो मुरा तो साइड दिए सारा मुरा तो माजी दुनिया खाने का दमाद दुमारी आशीला मगो हो या मादी
This is what happened to them. This is how they survived. Straight from the source. How do we sit back and just watch while the innocent so needlessly suffer? So many questions come to mind. And as our visit draws to a close, Major Ruhul invites us for a late evening dinner so that we may reflect upon our experiences together and discuss the situation at hand.
They are very friendly, you know, Bangladeshi people. You go in a rural area or anywhere, this is kind of a culture, like, you know, if a stranger comes to your house, they greet them and, you know.
When we see other people in crisis, which are being a Muslim, that's how you are supposed to do. Being a human being, you're supposed to do. But there are variations all over the world.
So yeah, I think the coexistence part is still preserved in Bangladesh. I see that being lost in India.
If we utilize the football skill of this Rohingya people,
Football skill?
yes, we can make a better national team than now.
No way, you said that?
Yes, I said that.
Engage these guys, the kids, in soccer and football and any other sports activities, and these guys are talented and they're fighters. You know they're fighters. They've been surviving the things that we cannot even comprehend, right? So they are survivors and they're fighters. And if you just give them a little push, a little motivation, sky is the limit.
You know, it's funny, in the US, obviously LA, wherever it is, everywhere we go, we just talk about projects that we're doing here and stuff. And the first thing everybody asks, what's Rohingya? Nobody knows about it. It's insane.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
I'm just grateful. Grateful to have been here. Grateful to have met all of these beautiful, beautiful children. Their smiles, their infectious joy. I can never forget them. It's forever changed who I am. And I can only hope that my experience, that their story would have changed you as well.
Who wants to be a scientist in this room? I am Rohingya. I want to be a scientist. I am Rohingya. And I want future.